everyone, I'm here today at a very special school to speak to a very special person. We've been given exclusive access to a one-to-one interview with the headmaster of Harrow Nanning. He's going to be answering literally your questions that came in via WeChat. He's going to be giving us his insights, his advice, and most of all his story of how he became headmaster of an international school. So why don't we go inside and find out where he is. I'm here today with the headmaster of Harrow Nanning campus, Neil Clayton. We've been working together for the past 7 years, and today he's kindly agreed to answer some of the burning questions from our teachers. So the first one is, how did you get to where you are today?
So I think you can split my educational journey into two parts. I was a teacher and an educator and a leader in England for roughly 11 years before moving to Asia. I've been in Asia for roughly about the same length of time, but more specifically for 9 years here in China. My educational journey started in state schools in England, where I was a science teacher, secondary school science teacher, teaching secondary science and A-level biology. I then progressed to head of department, head of faculty, and then when I left England, I was actually an assistant head teacher responsible for curriculum development, assessment, reporting and appraisal cycles for staff. I then left England to be a deputy head teacher in Malaysia, and then more recently, after leaving Malaysia, I have been an educational leader in China, and I've done 2 startup schools. I founded a school in Shanghai, and obviously the current role as founding head of Harrow Nanning, and I've been here for roughly 5 years.
Perfect. So for the rest of the questions, do you mind showing me around the school?
Well, I think given we're on the first floor, let's start with the auditorium.
Okay, let's go. So Neil, what's been your education journey? What did you start off studying and what are you currently studying now?
So again, my education journey is kind of split into 2 halves. Studying in England and then studying overseas after I moved internationally. I started as a science graduate. I went to Birmingham University and studied animal biology. When I'd finished, I knew that I didn't want to do a master's or go into science research. And I was actually sat at a bus stop waiting for a bus outside my house. And they were currently doing a big incentive drive for science teachers in England because there was a real shortage, and one of the incentives was paying off student loans.
Oh wow.
So if you worked for 10 years, they'd pay off 1/10 of your student loans each year. So as long as I worked for 10 years in England, I'd get all my student loans paid off.
That's worth doing.
So I ended up doing a PGCE in Loughborough in secondary science. Went straight into the classroom after finishing that, so I got a job in a rural town called Oakhampton in Devon. So I worked in Devon for 11 years. I went to my first school as a science teacher, and then very quickly I became a head of biology, then head of science, and then an assistant principal. And then really didn't do much in terms of qualifications, learning on the job really. And then when I moved internationally, certainly coming to Harrow Nanning, I decided that was an appropriate time for me to go back into the classroom and start learning again and brush up on my understanding of education, my understanding of learning and my understanding of leadership. So I completed a master's degree with the University of Buckingham. In 2023.
All done remotely?
All done remotely. And then swiftly after finishing that, I thought, well, what's next? So I started an educational doctorate last year, so I'm now currently in my 2nd year of that.
Halfway to being Dr. Neil.
Dr. Neil, yeah. It's got a bit of a ring to it. Dr. Clayton.
Dr. Clayton, yeah.
And completing my MPQH. So my MPQH will be completed at the end of this month actually, so I'll have finished that qualification at the end of this month. The doctorate is obviously going to take me a little bit longer, so maybe, fingers crossed, I'll be finished in 2027.
Just a tad, but congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So that's kind of my educational journey.
From bachelor's degree all the way to PhD?
Yep. Dr. Clayton.
Dr. Clayton. So this question came in from one of our current teachers. They asked, in your opinion, what distinguishes a great teacher from a good teacher?